to another episode of Daily Mole, your daily gaming news here. My name is ChaosMole, and today we have another update regarding the Activision Blizzard buyout by Xbox and how Bobby Kotick was not just only trying to make it look like it was all his idea and he is the mastermind behind of all of this, but also he apparently tried to buy Kotaku and PC Gamer to quote-unquote change the narrative for the last recent months. So Mr. Bobby Kotick here had multiple interviews over the last few hours to talk about the acquisition by Xbox or slash Microsoft. And he first had an interview with Bloomberg. And he said, and let me show you this. In an interview, Kotick said that the deal has nothing to do with the controversy surrounding Activision or calls for him to step down, and that Spencer reached out to him last year. A person familiar with the discussions, who has not authorized to speak publicly, said Microsoft looked at Activision's situation, giving all the negative attention and pressure on Kotick, and wondered if the beleaguered CEO would be willing to do a deal. Kotick initially didn't want to sell, according to another person familiar with the talks, and also put the word out to see if any other company would outbid Microsoft. But at that point, Kotick had little leverage with his board amid the ongoing public scrutiny at his company. So this is the first part I want to talk about. He is saying this has nothing to do with him or the controversy. It's like, no, because of the controversy, your market value became so low that somebody, in this case Microsoft, came into the range of buying you. That's what happened here. So no, it was totally your fault. And this is also very interesting that, sure, Microsoft reached out to them and was seeing if they wanted to do a deal, but that Spencer has reached out to him last year, and that's why it has nothing to do with the controversy. And it's like, Kotick, last year was when the whole thing happened. Like, what do you mean by he contacted me last year, and because of that, it has nothing to do with the problems which started last year? What? Like, how disconnected are you? And then Kotick initially didn't want to sell, according to another person, and they wanted to see if other companies would outbid Microsoft. I'm like, what? Outbid Microsoft? In which world are you living? Nobody outbids Microsoft besides of maybe Tencent. And they had no interest for various reasons. But as it stands, it seems like that actually Electronic Arts was involved to this to a certain degree. So EA was actually looking at this, but it was more like okay, let me have a look at this. How much do you want? Thanks. So that was apparently EA's involvement in all of this. So they looked at it literally and they were like, nah. And yeah. So this is all like, yeah, really, like, look, I know you want to make it look like as if this has nothing to do with the shit happened at your company, but the shit which happened at your company was with slashed a lot of money from your company and pushed you into the range of getting bought. So, yeah, forgive me, but no. Then the next thing, and this is not over, and this is where it gets very interesting. Like, he had another interview with GameSpeed, and this is rather telling again. GameSpeed. And what was the sexual harassment investigation factor in this? As it has certainly seemed to affect the stock price. I think what affected the stock price more than that is pushing out Overwatch and Diablo. And then I think people started to see that this year's Call of Duty wasn't performing as well. So I think certainly the filling and the Wall Street Journal article contributed to that. But stocks go up and down for a variety of reasons. I think our view was that a $95 a share with all cash, that's really a great deal for our shareholders. And so that was an easy and independent judgment. It's a great deal. Holy smokes, man. Like, do you know those people who smell their own farts and think they are smelling fantastic? Like, Bobby Kotick is sitting in a room with all of his farts and just thinks it's the greatest thing he ever smelled in his life. Like, first of all, what affected the stock was Overwatch and Diablo? Dude, I have never seen an announcement that the game is getting pushed back, not cancelled, pushed back, slashing a share price by over $30. Like, what? And then they saw that this year's Call of Duty wasn't performing as well. Well, yes, Call of Duty wasn't performing as well, but it was still a huge success. It's like saying, oh, we didn't become number one this year, but we are number two, and number two is not worth anything. I say, well, you still made hundreds of millions of dollars with the same game over and over again. What are you talking about? And then the rest. I think our view was that a $95 a share with all cash, that's a really great deal for our shareholders. And so there was an easy and independent judgment. It's a great deal. Look, your share price was down to $50. And Microsoft, because of all the pressure you have, was graciously offering you $95 for a share. Like, that was the golden parachute if I saw one. Because the price of that company was just going down. Like, that they were still giving you so much. It is a great deal, but it is really just a golden parachute. Like, this man cannot go soon enough. Like, he has completely lost connection to reality, right? And what the heck is going on at the company. But this is not all. This is not all. So apparently, because Activision Blizzard was under so much pressure, Activision Blizzard was actually thinking about buying something to change the discussion. You know, that gamers do not talk about the sexual allegations anymore, but they now talk about a new acquisition. And apparently their first goal, they were actually thinking about outbidding Take-Two on Zynga. Where I have to say, yeah, no. I will be very honest here. I don't think that people would have talked about like, oh, look at that, Activision acquired Zynga. Wow, what a smart move. I mean, there are tons of people out there which are still questioning the acquisition of Take-Two and Zynga. Like, this wouldn't have given you the press. But that's not all. Like, it gets actually crazier. And let me just read you this. Mr. Kotick has been eager to change the public narrative about the company, and in recent weeks has suggested that Activision Blizzard makes some kind of acquisition, including of gaming trade publications like Kotaku and PC Gamer, according to people familiar with him. The Activision spokeswoman, Ms. Klasky, disputed that Mr. Kotick wanted to make the acquisition, and of course they do. And none of the others really said anything about this. But this would have been absolutely bad. Like, I know we all hate Kotaku, given, sure. But Kotaku was actually really one of those publications which had an article at least once a month where they ripped Bobby Kotick a new one and where they ripped Activision Blizzard a new one. Just think about it. Like, Kotick was right. The public narrative would have changed very quickly if they would have bought, let's say, Kotaku. Because people would be like, oh, so Activision Blizzard is now buying the magazines which are talking badly about them? Well, if that isn't a sign. Like, if they would have bought any of the two, that would have been so bad. And that's actually one of the things where I really have to say, don't. Like, just think about it for a second. A game developer / publisher is owning a gaming magazine. You know how those rumors are going around that basically journalists are always taking hush money from the developers so that they are giving them a good number in the reviews, which, by the way, is bullshit, but whatever. Like, this time, it would be real, and it wouldn't be hush money. They would literally being paid by Activision Blizzard for their salary. Like, this would have been so bad. And then Bobby Kotick didn't saw this, I think just speaks for itself. Like, if you need another example of a completely deranged person having too much power and being at a position they clearly shouldn't be in, this is the prime example. This is the prime example of that. Like, as a CEO, you should totally see this coming, that people will be like, wait, you did what? You tried to buy what exactly? Like, it's unbelievable. But this shows pretty much that Bobby Kotick cannot go fast enough. Like, if he has ever done anything good for the company, which is disputable, those times are long gone, and he has to go as quickly as possible. And I actually hope that he will be gone before the 1.5 years. Well, a year and 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, before June 2023. Because who knows what other damage this man will actually cause. Like, frightens me. But this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this gaming news, then I would appreciate if you leave a like. If you want to get more daily gaming news, reaction videos, and also tips and tricks for new games, and also sometimes some opinion videos, then I would appreciate if you also might consider to subscribe to the channel. If you ever want to see me live, you can do so from Monday to Friday, starting at 9 AM East Coast time, which is 2 PM UK time and 3 PM Central European time. And you can find me on trovo.live/ChaosMole, where we are talking also about gaming news, what we just did. I recorded this live. And we are also playing the newest games. Dying Light 2 is coming out soon, and we might actually have early access to that, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope I see you next time.